Tom Brady just went completely off script, and the entire NFL world is losing its mind. The seven-time Super Bowl champion stood behind a podium to deliver a commencement address, and the crowd expected standard, inspiring graduation cliches about teamwork and chasing dreams. Instead, they got an absolute tactical nuke dropped directly onto the legacy of the New England Patriots dynasty. Right out of the gate, after receiving a wave of compliments from his business partner, Brady smirked at the crowd and muttered a line that instantly went viral across every sports network on earth. He looked out at the graduates and said, "I usually don't do well with compliments. I had a coach for 20 years that told me how shitty I was every single day." Just like that, the polite applause turned into gasps, laughter, and an absolute social media wildfire. He didn't say the name Bill Belichick, but let's be real, he didn't have to. For 2 decades, those two built the most ruthless, efficient winning machine in modern sports history. But behind the scenes, Brady just confirmed what insiders have whispered for years. The Patriot way wasn't a masterclass in positive reinforcement. It was psychological warfare. Think about what Brady is actually exposing here. We aren't talking about a high school coach trying to motivate a teenager. We're talking about the greatest of all time, a multi-time MVP, a global icon, being torn down daily in team meetings. This single quote completely changes how we look at those 6 championships in New England. It reignites the oldest debate in sports analytics. Was it the system, or was it the quarterback? For years, the media painted Belichick as a stoic tactical genius whose cold demeanor was simply a byproduct of his brilliant, hyper-focused mind. But Brady's raw admission reveals the staggering human cost of that environment. Imagine walking into your workplace every morning, having rewritten the history books of your industry, only for your boss to tell you that you are fundamentally inadequate. This wasn't an accidental slip of the tongue by Brady. It was a deliberate choice to frame his entire journey through the lens of surviving his own coach. This speaks volumes about the psychological calluses Brady had to build just to function. In the cutthroat landscape of the NFL, performance is everything. But Brady is telling us that even at the absolute peak of football civilization, the internal pressure cooker can be actively toxic. It raises a massive tactical question for modern front offices. Could that old-school, relentless negativity even survive in today's player-led NFL? If a coach tried to treat a modern star quarterback the way Belichick treated Brady, that player would demand a trade before Week 4. But Brady wasn't just throwing shade for the sake of drama. He used that brutal coaching environment to set up the core thesis of his speech. He shifted from the Belichick roast to a deeper, analytical breakdown of how data and numbers define our lives, both in professional sports and corporate business. He challenged the graduates with a specific number, 99. 7. He explained that in the analytics world, 99.7% represents virtual certainty. It means the outcome is a foregone conclusion. And then, he took the audience inside the helmet during the most iconic game of his career, Super Bowl 51 against the Atlanta Falcons. Down 28-3 in the third quarter, the live advanced analytics models calculated that the Falcons had a 99.7% chance of winning that football game. This is where the script gets incredibly powerful for anyone studying sports psychology or corporate strategy. Brady didn't talk about a miraculous tactical adjustment or a secret play call. He talked about the 0.3%. He told the graduates that when they enter the real world, they are inevitably going to face their own 28-3 moment. They will find themselves on the wrong side of statistical certainty, staring failure completely in the face. And in that exact moment, the metrics don't matter anymore. The only thing that matters is a binary choice. Do you quit, or do you fight your ass off? How do you actually execute a comeback when the data says it's mathematically impossible? Brady broke it down perfectly. He explained that a 25-point turnaround in the Super Bowl isn't achieved by trying to score 25 points all at once. It's executed by making one correct, high-discipline decision at a time. You complete one 5-yard out route. You pick up one blitzing linebacker. You secure one first down. Brady explicitly credited the players around him who shared that exact mindset. Unheralded guys who entered the league with low expectations but massive chips on their shoulders, like Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, Chris Hogan, and James White. He used them as a case study for building an elite corporate culture. When you are building a team, whether it's an NFL roster or a startup company, you don't just look for raw talent or pristine resumes. You look for people who have been forged by adversity. People who know exactly how to handle fear and deep self-doubt. Brady admitted to the crowd that he spent years fighting off his own internal fears. He reminded everyone that he was buried on the depth chart at Michigan, not earning a starting spot until his 4th season. He spent years questioning if he was even at the right school, or if the competition was simply too tough. That struggle is exactly what built the resilience required to look at a 28-3 deficit and completely ignore the scoreboard. The absolute pinnacle of Brady's speech came when he delivered a quote that needs to be pinned to the wall of every locker room in America. He told the graduating class, "Every hard choice is a brick in the path toward the life you want, but every excuse is a brick in the wall that will stand in your way." Think about the profound simplicity of that tactical philosophy. In the modern NFL, and in modern business, we are obsessed with shortcuts, micro-optimizations, and finding the easiest path to success. But the greatest quarterback to ever live is telling you that greatness is entirely non-negotiable. It is a brutal, exhausting contest where the winner is simply the person who refuses to quit. Of course, Brady couldn't keep it entirely serious. He poked fun at himself, acknowledging his 3 heartbreaking Super Bowl losses, giving a passionate shout-out of "Damn it, Eli Manning," to the crowd when an audience member reacted. It was a brilliant moment of humility from a guy who has won everything there is to win, proving that even the legends carry the scars of their biggest defeats. But it all circled back to the same core principle. Failure is never final unless you stop building your path. So, let's bring this back to the ultimate question that has the entire NFL community debating in the comments section today. Was Bill Belichick's ruthless, relentless, shitty day coaching style completely necessary to create the monster that became Tom Brady? Did Brady need that constant friction to develop his historic, unmatched competitive drive? Or did the Patriots win in spite of that toxic atmosphere? Because Brady possessed an uncrushable spirit that no coach could ever break. It's a fascinating look behind the curtain of the greatest dynasty we will ever see. Brady has officially closed the book on his playing career, but as he transitions into his massive broadcasting role, he isn't holding back the punches anymore. The filter is completely off, and the stories are finally coming out. I want to hear from the NFL tactics community on this one. Jump down into the comments right now and let me know your thoughts. Was Belichick a visionary genius who engineered the perfect psychological environment for winning? Or was he an over-the-top disciplinarian who drove his star quarterback straight out of town? Smash that like button if you love unscripted football drama. Hit subscribe to make sure you never miss another deep dive tactical news drop. And I will see you guys in the very next video. Team Brady or Team Belichick? Let's settle it below.